Good evening. It's Thursday, April 7th, 2016. I'm your host, Rebecca Paganini.
And I'm Ashley Ballone. Welcome to the Local Live.
With the New York primaries fast approaching, the presidential candidates are bringing the race a little closer to home.
Larchmont officially has a new mayor.
A fire broke out on Mamaroneck Avenue this week.
Still trying to figure out how to use a new parking stations? Keep watching because we have a video that might help.
And the Mamaroneck Relay Champions are here to tell us about their big win.
Archie Comics celebrates Earth Day. We have the story and more in the media.
The Grow It Green Expo is happening this Sunday, and best of all, it's free. Find out more in our Roundtable segment.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is the Local Live.
This week, the presidential primaries were underway in Wisconsin as Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz and Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders came out on top. Next up is the New York primaries, which has the candidates campaigning all over the state, with Donald Trump holding rallies in Long Island, to Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders visiting the Bronx, and John Kasich and Hillary Clinton stopping here in Westchester County. For the first time ever, the Local Live was on the scene reporting from the different rallies happening in our area.
Hillary Clinton is reaching out to New Yorkers to gain their votes as primary day is fast approaching. Producers Kat Galliano and Abrielle St. Ange bring us a full report from last Thursday's Purchase rally.
With the New York primaries coming up on April 19th, presidential Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton stopped in her home county of Westchester, speaking to supporters at SUNY Purchase.
It is so good to be home, to have a chance to speak to my friends and neighbors.
The Clintons have called the Empire State home since 1999, so it was an important stop in her busy campaign trail. She emphasized the impact New Yorkers have had on her political career.
And I believe the path to the White House goes right through New York. And I am not taking anything for granted. New York took a chance on me back in 2000, electing me to the Senate, re-electing me in 2006. And I want to once again ask for your confidence and your vote.
Many supporters took time out of their busy schedules to attend the rally, like Paula Kelly from New Rochelle, who tells us why it was important for her to be there.
It's an important time for us, even for people your age to be involved and people my age to be involved, because the future of this country needs to be resolved. We have been on a downward slope with the way the government has been failing to function, and we need someone in power who can make it function or help it to function. And I believe that she's the person. I think her experience, her background, and her ability to get along with other people and her international knowledge will help.
But not everyone was in the mood to chant Madam President. Supporters of presidential Democratic nominee Bernie Sanders crashed the rally chanting Sanders' name while Clinton was speaking.
You know, wait, before, can I just say this? As they're leaving, I want to say I have earned 9 million votes in this election already. I have 1 million more votes than Donald Trump, and I have 2.5 million more votes than Bernie Sanders.
Greenberg resident Laura Bernstein tells us what she thinks of those who interrupted Hillary mid-speech.
Well, this is the Bernie skull, they said, first of all. But second of all, the thing that I didn't quite get is why everything was negative toward Hillary and not giving any credit to Hillary. The way I'm seeing it, the whole election long, has been that Bernie's policies have been based off of Hillary's policy from the day before.
The former Secretary of State discussed key topics like health care, human rights, and creating jobs, stressing that no matter who you support, quote, she's on your side.
But you know, I've talked to some of the young people, and I've told them, look, you may not be supporting me, but I'm supporting you. I will work for you. I will fight for you.
Hundreds of supporters turned out here at SUNY Purchase to support Hillary Clinton as her run for presidency. She touched upon many things like women's rights, immigration, and college education. Please don't forget to vote. New York primaries are coming up April 19th. For The Local Live, I'm Kat Galliano.
While Hillary Clinton's rally at SUNY Purchase was finishing, Bernie Sanders' rally in the South Bronx was just getting started. Producer Shayla Navarro and Dina Shoemaker were there, and here's the coverage.
As the New York primaries are getting closer, the presidential rallies are getting closer to our community as well. Today, LMC-TV Local Live is here at St. Mary's Park in the Bronx, where presidential candidate Bernie Sanders will meet with his New York supporters. We're hours away from the senator speaking, but as you can see, the lines have already started. This is the first time in decades that a presidential candidate comes to the South Bronx. Our coverage started pretty early in the day, and we witnessed the long lines formed by over 18,000 supporters who came to hear their favorite presidential nominee, the leader of their political revolution.
We've been here since 5 a.m. feeling the burn, baby!
The doors opened at 4 o'clock, and the diverse crowd of supporters were welcomed by Sanders volunteers carrying signs, cheering, and even dancing, making the environment feel like a summer concert. National Press Secretary of Bernie Sanders, Erica Andiola, is a familiar face to the Latino community, well known for her immigration activism around the country. The undocumented activists tell us why Bernie Sanders decided to come to the South Bronx.
Well, Bernie is very, very passionate. He has always been passionate about income inequality and the ability to actually speak to everyone in the community.
While we were waiting for the rally to start, we decided to speak with more supporters, especially the ones who stand out carrying big signs.
There are so many great people who are tweeting and Facebooking. Those are the people that you should be getting your information from.
We were getting closer to 7 p.m. and guest speakers, Assemblyman Luis Sepúlveda, Director Spike Lee, President of the New York State Nurse Association, Judith Sheridan Gonzalez, actress Rosario Dawson, and Grammy-winning rapper Residente from Puerto Rico started addressing why they chose Bernie Sanders as their candidate.
Because he has spoken out against those Latin American dictatorships financed by the United States, which left more than 500,000 people dead or disappeared.
There's this rumor that is pitching out there that because he's saying that we're giving Trump too much time on the airways and we need to stop feeding into that hate and talking about the issues, that somehow that meant that he doesn't care about women's issues. Shame on you, Hillary.
For many hours, supporters of Bernie Sanders have been patiently waiting to welcome Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. But I am very proud that I was born here in New York City. Instead of spending trillions of dollars on a war in Iraq that we never should have gotten into, there is no reason why in this country we should not have the best educational system in the world for all of our people. It is an international embarrassment that we have more people in jail than any other country on earth.
We witnessed not only Sanders' popularity among young voters, but also the diversity of his supporters. Sanders needs to win over the New York delegates on April 19 to keep his hopes alive of winning the Democratic nomination over party favorite Hillary Clinton. For The Local Live, I'm Shayla Navarro.
This Saturday, Republican presidential candidate John Kasich will address his supporters at Iona College in New Rochelle. Our cameras and producers will be there, so look forward to next Thursday's full report.
This Monday, former trustee Lorraine Walsh was sworn in as the new mayor in the village of Larchmont. Walsh and her Democratic team of trustees, Peter Finelli and Carol Miller, ran unopposed. The administration of oaths was performed by Justices Thea Beaver and Jerry Bernstein. At the swearing-in ceremony, public officials from the town of Mamaroneck and Senator George Latimer expressed their congratulations. Let's take a listen to the speeches from the newly elected board.
But no matter the specifics, my responsibilities as mayor are as they have always been, to ensure a high level of service in the most cost-effective way possible, to efficiently maintain the village's assets, and to play a role in fostering the sense of community that is Larchmont.
And I look forward to everyone being involved. That's my main thing, is just keep getting involved. All of you that are out there, those that are in the room, we know that you guys are involved. But those that are on the sidelines thinking about getting involved, come on down to the village and join one of these fabulous committees that we have and help us make this a better place.
As everybody has noted, we live in a wonderful place. Larchmont is very special, and the trustees have a very large responsibility to do everything they can to keep Larchmont as special as it's always been, and to do what we can to make it even better and the best place possible. And I'm really looking forward to getting to work. So thank you again.
Lorraine Walsh said that she will appoint a new deputy mayor soon. On April 28th, Ms. Walsh will be here at the local live participating in our new live roundtable interview to answer all of your questions.
Also on April 4th, there was a reported fire at the Regatta on Mamaroneck Avenue. According to the Mamaroneck chief Craig Castorella, the fire was caused due to a buildup of lint between the 5th and 6th floor shafts, which caused the fire on the roof. Firefighters were concerned because residents did not evacuate the building on time. Thankfully, no one was reported injured, and everyone was evacuated safely to the village conference room. All of the laundry rooms at the Regatta are currently shut down until further notice.
Now here's Mike Witch to brief us on the stories trending this week in our local media.
RoHUD.com is reporting that just 1 year after the launch of Walter's Hot Dogs food truck, the Warrington family has announced they'll be opening a second truck just to keep up with demand. The new food truck is larger than the first. It's tricked out with more fryers and a bigger grill to accommodate the bigger crowds. Make sure to keep a lookout for that second truck. It's hitting the streets April the 12th. This past Monday, April 3rd, Westchester County lawmakers told the state that the age of criminal responsibility within New York should be raised from 16 to 18 years old. The County Board of Legislators supported a plan by the state to raise the age on the condition that any increased or extra costs to the county are to be floated by the state. The initial vote was passed 16-1. James Mazzano, a current legislator, said he agrees with the plan since it will have full coverage of any extra costs by the state. To read the full story, read LoHUD Journal Review. In honor of Earth Day, Archie and Veronica are setting off to save the world by getting rid of plastic, one bag at a time. This is all part of Archie Comics' Drastic to Plastic initiative to up the awareness of the effects of plastic. For more information on this initiative, visit archiecomics.com. And considering the mild winter we've had, this spring is sure to be a cold one. There have been spots of snow, freezing temperatures throughout Larchmont and Mamaroneck, and this week's weather has betrayed the groundhog's prophecy that spring-like weather would be here to stay by now. Well, here's hoping summer comes soon. For more weather updates, check out the Mamaroneck Daily Voice. And those are just a few of the stories that caught my eye this week in the media. I'm Mike Witch.
Great, Mike, that was definitely... We have our local trivia question up next, and don't go anywhere because after that we'll have our roundtable discussion. Learn about the upcoming Grow It Green Expo with us.
Hello, and where will you be on Sunday, April 10th at 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock? I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be at the Grow It Green in Larchmont, and we're lucky to have the organizers and the keynote speaker to Grow It Green in Larchmont right here with us today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And sitting right next to me is Lisa Boillot and Sally Maca And you two are the co-chairs of the organization that's co-sponsoring this. And next to you is Kim Eierman.
Hello.
And you're the keynote speaker.
I am.
Well, aren't we lucky to have you here?
I hope so.
Tell me about this. This is, their full name is Larchmont Mamaroneck Grow It Green 2016. Did you do that deliberately as a rhyme?
We did.
Okay. This is not the first time that we focused on environment and growing it green in this community, is it?
It is not. Last year we organized a green conference, which was about all that homeowners could do in their community, taking small steps, and it was called the Green Steps Expo. And this year we're focusing solely on landscaping and gardening, inviting landscapers and homeowners, because Kim's speech last year was so successful and everybody wanted to hear more from her and more about what they can do in their landscaping.
Kim, do you want to give us a little preview of what you're going to say?
Well, essentially I'm going to be telling homeowners some simple things they can do in their own landscapes that make huge environmental differences. And it sounds like a real stretch, but I do it in my own landscape in Bronxville, New York. And so just simple things like reducing our lawn, what I call a green desert, in favor of some native plants can really start to bring a lot of life into your landscape. So I'll be touching on some of these ideas.
So it's not something as massive as let's put solar panels up on the roof and incur debts of several $1,000s. You can do that, but you can also start out.
That would be a nice compliment, but I'll be focusing on some of the landscaping and gardening practices that we can use, really changing up some of the traditional things that we've done that perhaps haven't been so healthy for the environment in favor of some steps that we can take that really do promote ecological health.
And then following this, you're going to have some workshops. I think 6 individual workshops I read.
That's correct.
Can you give us a preview of some of the workshops?
Well, we're going to have a workshop on soil and the health of your soil, and that'll touch on the reduction of pesticides as well in your yards.
So you mean to make a better lawn for myself, or to grow better flowers or better vegetables, I don't have to add a lot of chemicals?
No. In fact, you want to, I mean, ultimately you'd rather add none. I mean, not only is it detrimental to your garden, which Kim will talk about, but you'll also find that those pesticides or those chemicals will travel to your, anyone who's outside, your family, your pets, but also to the Long Island Sound. So we're trying to bring in alternatives that are already in your yard, for example, leaves, native plants. But that's just one of our 6 workshops. We also are talking about rainwater, how we can capture and utilize rainwater to our advantage. We're talking about seeds, all the different kinds of seeds that are available for people who want to grow edible gardens, which is also a workshop. Lisa,
Yes, I think you have covered it. We're talking about mulch mow and how you can keep your leaves and your grass clippings in your yard with a mulch mow attachment, which is a very simple attachment, and it helps you.
You mean no raking?
No raking.
No blowing?
No blowing.
Wow.
No noise.
I'm there.
And you are able to then nurture your own lawn and garden with a lot of organic material. And that's one of the workshops. And it still looks great. It still looks great. So it's really about making everything more healthy and making your vegetable garden more productive by inviting pollinators, which are the birds and the bees and the all the insects which we want to have. And it seems that planting native plants indigenous to our area next to your vegetable garden increases your production in your vegetable garden by several fold. So all these kinds of tips and
does it hold off the pests as well?
Well, some of the pests are actually good things to have in your garden. When we're talking about pests that you don't want to have, that we generally use insecticides and things for, when you have native plants, you're not needing those kinds of insecticides because only really the right kind of pollinators are coming, if I'm not incorrect.
Only of the insects in our landscapes, 90% of those insects are either beneficial or benign. So it's only about 10% of the insects that we see in our landscape that are the bad actors. So one way that we can think about keeping pests under control, the bad actors, is by using native plants that attract nature's pest control, beneficial insects. So it's starting to use alternative practices that, quite honestly, we knew generations ago, and we've kind of forgotten because we've gotten so dependent on pesticides and fungicides and herbicides.
Now you're going to have some vendors there as well, beekeepers, but without the bees.
Well, we've got two fun people who are coming to help us with alternatives for your gardens. One of them is a beekeeping organization, which is like a pool service, but for bees. And they
so you
bring
can do home beekeeping?
You do home beekeeping, and they provide you a hive, and they service that hive every week, and you get 10 pounds of honey for your summer that you are basically lodging. You have bee lodgers living at your property, and they fly out to other places all around Westchester for their pollen, and they come back home where they rent on your property, and you get the benefit of their honey. So that is one, and then the other one is kind of fun too.
It's called Rent-A-Hen.
Yes.
Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay. You haven't tried it
Rent-A-Hen?
yet?
No, I haven't, no.
This organization will provide you with a small coop and at least 2 hens, right?
Yes.
You can. I think you always get at least 2 hens, and you'll keep it at your home during the warm months, and you're guaranteed eggs, a certain number of eggs every week. So these are not just these are just fun ways to consider your landscape. A number of people in our area have properties, larger properties that they might want to explore this. People.
And these both are consistent with local laws.
They
that
are.
you can have bees and hens
Absolutely.
on your property.
Absolutely.
Not every
don't you already have bees on your property?
Not in an apartment, no.
Oh, okay. Right, well, maybe not.
Well, funnily enough, in New York, there's a huge trend towards people having bees on the rooftops of their buildings, on apartment buildings. So just having an apartment building doesn't necessarily rule you out from being able to be a beekeeper. It's a huge trend.
Is this an event for kids as well as for adults?
Absolutely. We have a number of family activities. So the Sheldrake Environmental Center will be hosting a table. One of the things they'll be doing is they have a box full of soil, and you'll be digging through there looking what's in the soil, and you'll have educators on hand to tell the students or the children what they're looking at. We're going to have 2 different kinds of art projects. And
Foley's, actually, our local hardware store, has done a wonderful display, and they are, in fact, a sponsor of the event. They will be having a big kids area with benches that they're bringing in for kids to do plantings of seedlings, and they have a wonderful array of products, actually, that are all organic, and electric leaf blowers and all kind of alternatives to use for a more green approach to landscaping. So Foley's is a big partner.
And you've got some prizes too. You've got a raffle going on?
We have, in fact, 5 raffle items, and they're very exciting.
Tell us about them.
Foley's has donated actually a wheelbarrow with soil and tools and hand tools and bird feeder and watering can and all kinds of things. A wonderful, great big display, and that is one lot. And then
we have a rain barrel that the Town of Mamaroneck Sustainability Collaborative has donated, and that's part of our program in educating people on how to capture rainwater and use it most effectively. We have a composter donated by Sheldrake. A seed company has given us a whole beautiful basket of seeds. We have something from the tickets from the Botanical Garden, and Kim is going to be donating some of her products, which are
eco-beneficial t-shirts.
Sounds good to me. You also want to include the Larchmont Temple Social Action Committee because they're hosting this as well, right?
Indeed, yes, they are partners, and they very graciously offered us their location. So they partnered with us this year as well. And we should mention that the event is organized by the tri-municipal committees, the environmental committees from the Village of Larchmont, the Village of Mamaroneck, and the Town of Mamaroneck. So all 3 community environmental committees have come together, and that's been a wonderful effort to be able to be working together.
Well, we're glad that you came here and gave us an opportunity to partner with you to help promote it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about the rain barrel.
Well,
is
I
this
can
literally
talk to you
a
about
barrel?
it, but I'd actually like to see, Kim, is this?
Well, there are a number of different ways that we can capture rainwater on site. One happens to be using more trees. That seems rather radical, doesn't it? But in lieu of putting more trees in, using rain barrels that actually can capture water from your downspouts, and then you can reuse that water in your garden, for example. Another technique might be using rain gardens or permeable pavers, but we're trying to obviously get people to start thinking differently about ways that they can be responsible for the stormwater on site, keep it on site, and rain barrel is a great way to start with that effort.
So you're going to have some demonstrations of like permeable pavers and the rain barrels and rain gardens?
That's where the vendors come into place. In fact, we've got a vendor who sells permeable pavers, and a lot of the vendors will be showing the different products that can be bought to be more responsible in your gardening. Foley's obviously is one of them, and then we have several landscapers who are coming in who themselves have embraced organic landscaping, not using pesticides or fertilizers, using only if they have to, very punctually using any kind of organic, I shouldn't say pesticide, but a treatment. And yeah, so the vendors really are informational sources from the community. And we have some food vendors. Mike's Organics is going to deliver us a bushel of apples for everybody to try, and they can sign up for the organic delivery of foods, and so a lot of really fun stuff, actually.
So you've got food, and you've got fun games, and you've got educational materials.
That's right.
It sounds like a jam-packed afternoon. It starts at 1, it runs till 6. Do you need to be there the whole time?
Well, it depends on what really interests you, but you can have a look on the website. If you look for the Eventbrite Grow It Green, you'll be able to see the schedule. And Kim is talking at 1:15, and she'll be doing the keynote speak. So you really want to get there by 1 o'clock so you can come for the very beginning, and then you can select which areas are most important to you. But it's going to be a really fun afternoon. There'll be plenty to do.
And I was asking before, is this completely free? But you said it is, but if people feel like making a donation, they can do that. And money that is donated goes towards
education in the community about these issues, to fund more events like this.
Is there anything that I've left out that you'd like to add at this point?
I'd just like to say thank you to the organizers for a fantastic event. This is a model program for other municipalities in Westchester. So even if you don't live in the immediate area, you got to come.
Thank you.
Kim and Sally and Lisa, thank you so much for spending time with us. And we've got the website up on the bottom of the screen. So if you need to get information about Grow It Green, that's where to go. Is there a phone number you'd like to give out? Or is the website got it all?
The website's pretty comprehensive. And email, on the website, there's also an email address. Actually, Lisa, you probably remember that email address if people want to.
It's growitgreen@gmail.com.
Oh, it's LM.
Yeah, growitgreenlm@gmail.com.
Right. LM for Larchmont and Mamaroneck.
Correct.
That's right.
Okay. Well, thanks again for spending some time with us. And I hope to see you on Sunday. And don't go away because there's more of the Local Live coming up, including the answer to the trivia question.
Welcome back to the Local Live. I'm here with 4 of the fastest students our county has ever seen from our very own Mamaroneck High School. They broke several records this year at the New Balance Nationals. Let's take a look at our champions' triumphant moment. Girls, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here today. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Katie DeVore. I'm a senior. I'm Lauren Spiz. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Lauren Chappie. I'm a senior.
Shari Rawls. I'm a senior.
Well, good to meet you guys. Pleasure to have you.
Thank
you. What are the New Balance Nationals? Exactly.
It's an event sponsored by New Balance that they've had for several years now. It's hosted in the Armory track, which is in the city, and it's, national, so teams from all over the country come to compete for the indoor competition.
Oh, awesome. And like several different age ranges, or just?
All of high school, and then they have a select few middle school races.
Oh, that's awesome. And how do you guys feel having achieved something pretty gargantuan, especially at such a young age?
I think it means a lot to us to have achieved this because we've all been running together for quite some time now. And we knew at the beginning of the season that we had the potential to do this, so it felt really, really good to train hard all season and then be able to show up at Nationals and really pull off the win.
Yeah, that is awesome. And that leads me to my next question. How long have you guys been running?
Lauren, and Shari have all been running since 8th grade, and then Lauren's been running since last year. She was our most recent addition.
A newbie, and you just came in and messed everything up. That's pretty good. That's awesome. And do you guys plan to keep running, like take it to college, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna run next year at the University of Pennsylvania. So
I'll be running at Yale University.
Yeah, and I'm running at Brown.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so cool. Well, what do you think? Do you think you're gonna run? Like, you'll keep obviously keep it up.
I want to. I look up to them, so I want to do what they're doing.
That's awesome. And what is an average day of training for you guys? Like when the Nationals are coming up, what's?
So training changes throughout the season, but typically we'll be running anywhere from like 4 to 6 miles within a training day. So that might be a 40-minute run, or it might be interval training. So that's like a lot of really hard sprints on the track, and you take a little rest and you do some more, and it gets pretty grueling. It gets kind of tough, but we really like pull each other through, and like when one person's struggling, we kind of help each other out.
Yeah, you guys have like a really obvious connection. It's really nice. Obviously, like rigorous training will prompt that in people. Well, that's nice. And do you guys have any other advice for? I mean, you've obviously already inspired one person, two, I'll admit. Do you have any advice for girls who are looking to do the same thing, make some moves?
Yeah, I think, like Katie said, from the beginning of the season, we've been looking at this, but really, since like we were freshmen or 8th graders, we've been looking at this and just saying like, one day, and we had a teammate that was Anima Banks. She graduated and went to Duke, and she was a phenomenal runner, and she was, I think, 3rd in the nation, multiple state titles, and she inspired us, and we thought like, we can do that one day. So just setting goals early, and even when things get rough, keeping those goals in mind, and never giving up, I guess.
Yeah, and when we were in 8th grade, it was Katie, me, and my sister who were on the 4x8 relay team with Anima Banks, who's now in Duke. So, yeah.
That's really nice. So
we've been inspired for a while.
Indeed, just inspiration. That's awesome. And running's so addicting, so I feel like once you're in it, you're just really in it.
That's definitely, yep.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and congratulations again. We're all so proud of you. Before you go, did you want to take a minute to try to guess who our LMC Play of the Week is?
Well, if I had to guess, it's the Mamaroneck baseball team, because I went to the game.
You're right, yeah. It's the Mamaroneck baseball team. They made our LMC-TV Play of the Week, a double play combination with Mike Adamo and Peter Matt. Both made spectacular catches en route to a 7-6 victory.
Line drive. Great diving catch from Mark Adamo for the first out.
What a play by Adamo, laying out, looked like a base hit up the middle there, saving Cohen. It was a hitter's count, and looked like maybe more runners were going to get on base there to start off the inning. Instead, quick out. And the pitch from Nambiar. He lines, and a nice diving catch from Peter Matt at shortstop on his knees, and a nice play there, saving potentially 1 or maybe even 2 runs there.
Fantastic extension and concentration from the senior co-captain to make that catch.
You're watching The Local Live,
the only news show on Larchmont and Mamaroneck on LMC-TV.
If you've been on the Mamaroneck Avenue or any of the nearby parking lots, you've probably noticed that the new multi-space meters. Let's take a look at how they work.
The Village of Mamaroneck has such a wide variety of attractions, services, and businesses to offer. To make your stay in the Village of Mamaroneck easier, let's learn how to park in the pay station areas located in the village. First, find your space number. Proceed to the nearest pay station machine. Type in your 4-digit space number, then press the green button. Now it's time to pay. The machine accepts U.S. quarters, Visa, and MasterCard. You can park for a maximum of 4 hours. Don't forget to take your receipt. You'll need it if you want to extend your time. You can also pay right from your smartphone or other mobile device. Point your browser to waytopark.com or download the Way to Park app from the App Store or Google Play. Or just scan this code. In the app, input your 4-digit space number where it asks for your zone number. Enter the space number again when it asks for your space number and input your license plate number. Then select the amount of time you wish to pay for and enter your credit card information. You'll receive a notification before your time expires. You can then extend your time if you need to right from the app without having to go back to your car. Arriving before parking enforcement starts? You can set your time to start when enforcement starts, so you only pay for the time you need. You can get email updates from the Village of Mamaroneck at village.mamaroneck.ny.us/subscriber. Thank you for learning the new way to park.
Scout is an adorable 1-year-old lab mix. He's very friendly and sweet. He's full of energy and ready for some never-ending fun. But he still needs some help with his manners and is not very compatible with felines or small dogs. Scout is not only beautiful but loving and cannot wait to have a loving home. If you'd like to adopt him, head to ny-petrescue.org.
Remember, if you'd like to keep us on air, support our program by checking out our website at www.lmctv.org. We really appreciate any contribution.
And we are always welcoming new interns and volunteers, so send your emails to thelocallive@lmctv.org and join us. We love hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching another episode of The Local Live. I'm Rebecca Paganini.
And I'm Ashley Balone. See you next week for another episode of The Local Live. Goodbye.
Can the local live give my pet ostrich the power of human speech?